everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today, this is my first video. We're going to speak about snijbonenmolens, which is a Dutch word. I am Dutch, and in English this is called a rotary beanslicer, or in German Bohnenschneider. It is a kitchen utensil made out of cast iron, which was invented in the mid-1800s and has had a popularity of over 100 years. We'll look into it and see what happened in different countries and where they were made and where they were used. Okay, first I will solve the mystery and you can see what it actually is. This is a Dutch rotary bean slicer from the brand name Vendex. It's cast iron, it's pretty heavy. You can see on the back there are knives, and when I turn the wheel, the beans slice when you put them in the slots over here. This is a pretty old one, I think 1930s, 1940s, made in Holland, where they were also pretty popular, and it has a little clamp on the bottom to attach it to your worktop. Okay, what I will do, I will speak about the different countries where the rotary bean slicers were popular and add in a little bit of history from each country. The bean slicer probably was invented in the United Kingdom. There was a company that produced many kitchen utensils. They did over 100 inventions over the years, and probably someone in their factory invented the rotary bean slicer. That was in about 1860. The company also delivered to the royal family, so they were a well-known company based in London. First, the bean slicers were very much a luxury item, the ones that were used from 1880 on, and only like rich families could afford them. Then, approximately from the 1920s, the Spong & Co. company started to mass produce them, and they became available to normal households. At first the colors were mainly dark green, I think red as well, and then they had some gold lettering on it. Over the years the colors changed. I think in the 70s they added some pale blue, and in the 80s as well orange and what is the color? Avocado, that was the one. And they also added a suction cup to put it to your work surface instead of the clamp. The Spong company also tried to export to Australia, which didn't work out very well, because the transport costs were so high that it was a very expensive item there and the people didn't buy it. There was a company though in Australia that did make their own bean slicer. That was the Ken Bowes company, KBC Metalworking. They invented one in 1938 and made them till 1949. And sold a total of 300,000 units in Australia, which I think is quite impressive for a country that only had a few million inhabitants then. Okay, now about the Netherlands, where the word snijbonenmolen, the theme of this video, comes from. I was surprised. I am from Holland, and apparently only a few companies that made them. The main one is the P-E-P-D-E, Peter Dines, a company in existence since 1869, but they started producing them, I think, in the 20s or 30s, probably for the first time. That is the snijbonenmolen you see most in Holland. And in the old days, everybody had one. Then another company is DV, which I don't find much information about. And the one I just showed you on the screen is a Vendex. And Vendex is a brand name from a Dutch department store. There is not, I find nothing else about other brands made in Holland. Okay, I was lying. I did forget a very important snijbonenmolen from the Netherlands. It was actually a wooden model invented by Geert van Dijken in the province of Groningen, one of the provinces of Holland. And it was not so much for households, but generally it was used in stores to pre-cut the beans for the customers. And then also what they did is in the bean and the canning season, the shops rented the bean slicers out to the public so they can do their canning and bring the mill back to the shop. I thought that was pretty interesting, and you can see it in the picture what it looks like. Kind of a torture device, but it's a bean slicer. One of the reasons these rotary bean slicers were so popular, because they work quick, and in many countries the canning and preserving of food was a big thing. So it was easy to do a big lot of beans in a short time. I'll come back to the canning and the preserving later. Then we come to Germany. Germany had many companies who made them, and I'll sum them up and I'll show you pictures of each one if I find a picture. One of the most important ones, I think, is the Alexanderwerk. Then we have the GK in Altenvoorde. I found a rare model from the brand name Harras. I found a brand name Bona. Fripo-Werke. DGJM Tech. Albiwerk. Rotunda, and one I'm going to show you later, Jupiter. Jupiter is a company that later transferred into Westmark Company, a company that still exists today and making many kitchen utensils. And actually, I think it's the only company that's still producing the rotary bean slicer today. Then I found another bean slicer made in Czechoslovakia. That is the Porket brand. I think that was made in the 60s. I've seen it, pictures coming it in a cardboard box. And then last but not least, from Sweden, I found the famous Husqvarna bean slicer. Okay, now I want to talk about France. I didn't find any vintage bean slicers made in France, but I do want to tell interesting detail about fruit preserving in France. We're going to talk about Napoleon, yes, the big Napoleon. He, in the year 1795, gave out a competition where he offered a reward of 12,000 French francs, which must have been a bucket load of money in that time, to the person who could invent a way to better preserve foods. This obviously was interesting because his troops in the field shouldn't be intoxicated by bad food. The competition was won by a guy called Nicholas Appert in 1809, which is also a long time ago, who invented kind of the basics of the tin can that we know today. Then we'll go to United States. Also, I didn't find any bean slicers fabricated there, to my surprise actually. The only thing I found was a kind of industrial bean slicer. I found a patent from 1940, and I'll add a picture in the video. But by then the bean slicers were already a long time in use in Europe. What is interesting, that the primitive tin can was invented in France in 1809. In 1810 a factory opened in Chicago in the United States producing canned food. Then a lot later, in 1858, still a new method for food preserving was invented in glass jars with a kind of rubber seal, so it didn't get bad, the food. This was the mason jar. Another American company took over the production of these jars, as we know them today, the ball jars, and they are still produced. And another Irish company, Kilner, also started producing their version of these canning jars. Canning is still done a lot today, and all these jars are still produced today under the same company names. The bean slicer was just helping a little bit to make the work quicker. And so I hope you enjoyed the content of this video, and see you next time. Bye bye. I will give a little demonstration to see how the bean slicer works and how pretty efficient it is. This model is a Jupiter Bohnenschneider made in Germany, and it's pretty old, probably 1940s, around that date, and it still works perfectly. You'll see. Here we take the beans, just put them in the slots and turn the wheel. And then they will go automatically. And then the slot is empty. Another one in, this one is not going. And some more. And some more. And there you have it, some green sliced beans in small pieces, and this is ready to cook, to salt, or to can. More videos to come, and if you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe. That helps my little growing channel. Okay, bye bye.